YouTube, what's up, man? I'm back. I told y'all I was gonna get this done. We are doing great gifts for him because it's the holiday season and 'tis the season to give your man some stuff. And if you're a dude watching this video, 'tis the season to buy yourself some stuff. Go ahead and do it, man. You got my permission. Anyways, I was gonna do these three as separate videos, but then I decided, you know what? It's all sound stuff. So let's go ahead and get into it, man. We got some Bluetooth speakers and a great deal on some headphones. So, hey, let's dig in. First, since you see it right in front of you, I've already actually done a review on these headphones, the Bludieo T2S Turbine headphones. I'm not going to go in too much detail because there's a full video of these by itself. These are actually great sounding headphones. Actually, I've been editing all of my latest videos with these headphones. They sound good. I've actually listened to some music on them. Nice punchy bass. I wouldn't say, you know, if you're an audiophile, you know, don't bother with these because you're looking for something, you know, with a lot more quality. But, you know, just for the average person who, you know, likes a little bit of bass, a little bit of mids and some highs, and just for some casual listening, man, go ahead and pick up these headphones. Once again, it does come with a USB charging cable, and you can pretty much use any old standard 3.5 millimeter jack to plug in if you want to, but they are Bluetooth. And from what I understand, man, these things have an incredible battery life. The package back there, it boasts 40 hours of music time, 45 hours of talk time, and 1,625 hours of standby time. That is crazy. They've got some big old drivers, 57 millimeters, as it says right here. But yeah, that's about it that's about all the time I really want to spend on the Bludieo headphones. I'll leave a link to the actual review of these in the description. Now I want to move on to some stuff I haven't talked about yet. These are oldies but goodies. These products have been out for a while, and they are actually the previous versions. They're actually newer versions out. I just prefer to talk about these. But first up, we have the JBL Charge 2. Okay, right now there's a 2 Plus out, and I do believe there's a JBL Charge 3. The 2 Plus looks a lot like this, except it's actually splash proof, which is really cool. But the JBL 3 is a little bit, the Charge 3 is a little bit bigger, and it's waterproof. Or no, it's got some water resistance. It's a little bit more water resistance than just splash proof. Don't quote me on this, but yeah, I think it's just splash proof. I don't believe it's waterproof at all, but it's just bigger, and I didn't like the way it looked. And as far as I'm concerned, when they start waterproofing speakers, they don't sound as good as the regular one. I guess it's the coatings they put on it. So I prefer to stick with the JBL Charge 2, even though it's not as rugged. I've dropped this one a couple of times, so you can see some dings right there. So this is not your outdoorsman speaker. This is made for casual listening. Inside of a room, this thing will fill up the room. It sounds so good, and it's got some bass here too, man. It's got some nice thump, and you see how you're really not supposed to do that. The instructions say don't push on it, but I'm a rebel. But you see how the drivers and radiators just, you know, they breathe like that. So that's where we get all that sound from, man. And you got, I think it's 2 drivers in here as well. So I think we have a total of 4 drivers in this speaker. Playtime is roughly about, I don't know, maybe 8 hours or something like that. But that's if you have it up full blast, maybe 4 hours. All right, as far as playtime, we're talking about 12 hours of playback, but that's at low volume. If you have this thing at maximum volume, we're talking about probably 4 to 6 hours of turning this sucker up loud. I've used it outdoors on my patio, but once again, I don't turn it up super loud. Just chilling on my patio, you still get some good sound even when you're outdoors, and that's really cool because, you know, when you're outdoors, you got all kinds of stuff like the neighbor's pool, somebody cutting their grass or whatever, you know, crazy stuff like that. Next on here, I wanted to talk about some of your buttons. Let's go down the line here, starting with this first one. There's your power button. If you press and hold, it just comes on. And then we have our Bluetooth sync button. If you've already synced this thing up to your phone or whatever, or your tablet, it's probably gonna catch it immediately once it comes on. But if not, all you gotta do is press this button right here, and it starts blinking, and it automatically goes into pairing mode. So that's really cool. Here you have your oops, let me turn this off. Here you have your plus or minus for volume, and then you have your battery indicators here. All right, so as you saw, it was at a full charge. Here's where it really gets cool. You have a share button, so you can actually share with or stereo these things up and share them with friends. So I haven't played around with this yet because it's just me messing around with one of these, but this is a really cool feature here. And here you got your pick up and hang up for your telephone calls, and there's a little bitty microphone right there. It actually does do really good speakerphone calls. and I was very impressed. I've used it a couple of times. Now when you get yours, it's going to be a solid color, whether red, black, gray, blue, whatever you get it in. It's not going to have this. I actually put this on as a little piece of decoration that I just wanted to personalize my stuff, so you will not be seeing that when you get yours. But since it's called the Charge, you actually can charge your phone off of this. This thing's got a big enough battery to where you can get a few hours of playtime and charge your cell phone on this, probably once. And then you've got your 3.5 millimeter jack right there in case you need to plug in. And then you have your micro USB mini, so you can go ahead and charge this bad boy up. But other than that, there's no sound that comes from the back. It's all front facing, so you need to face it to you to get the sound. Other than that, man, this has been a great Bluetooth speaker for me. I want to say I've had it for about a year and a half or so. And I've seen other ones come out, but for the size and you know, for the size and the money, I have to go with this one, especially being under $100. This has been a great buy, and I use it pretty frequently, probably once a week, you know, when I'm outside or just doing something around the house and I want some music. So this is definitely a great buy, and I'm pretty sure he or you will love this bad boy. All right, let's move on. Sticking with JBL, because that's my brand. Everybody has their stuff, right? And once again, there's a newer version out of this. This is the JBL Clip. This is the JBL Clip Plus, I'm sorry. There is actually a Clip 2 out. The reason why I don't have that one is because I think it's ugly. This one, I really like the clip on this one versus the newer model, just simply because of my style preference. And I do, if I'm not mistaken, they're the same size as far as new versus old, but I just stuck with this one. It's pretty durable. It's not a ruggedized design, but I mean, you can probably see here it's got a couple of dings on it. What I've actually done with this one is hook it on the side of my bag, and it just lives there permanently. So it's always getting banged up against something. I'm surprised there's no dents in the speaker grill. I guess it's pretty sturdy, but this is a great Bluetooth speaker. It actually has some really good sound and actually quite a bit of bass for just sitting here at 140 millimeter driver. I do believe it is 40 millimeters. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but let's take a little tour around here. We have the Bluetooth connectivity right here. So once again, just like on the Charge, if you turn it on and it doesn't already sync with your phone, just press that button and it'll start going into pairing mode, and you can just find it that way. Of course, there's your power button, and then you have your speakerphone for your calls, and there's your microphone as well. Now this, I love using this as a speakerphone. You can just take, like I said, I keep this on my bag. I just unclip it, and I'll play a little bit of music in my office when I'm sitting in there and just have it right there. Sometimes I leave it clipped on the bag, but if I do want to use it as a speakerphone, you just unclip that bad boy, sit it right there. It's got this little rubberized bottom to it. It won't slide around, and you can just talk, and the people on the other end, they don't even know you're on a speakerphone, and it comes through loud and clear. All right, keeping the tour going, we're going to talk about this micro USB mini. I really wish that this was covered. I didn't care about it on the JBL Charge, but I really wish there was like a flap or something right here to cover this up so nastiness doesn't get in there. Same here with your 3.5 millimeter jack. You can also plug in there. Then of course you got your volume up and volume down button. All right, so as far as plugging in, you can actually plug this into your phone directly, just like that. So it's got that built in, and I really love that feature. I don't think I've actually used it yet because the battery life on here is actually really good if you're listening at a decent volume. When you crank up the volume on these things and you listen to it for hours on end, of course you're gonna drain that battery, but for the most part, it's actually got a really good battery life. And that's the JBL Clip Plus, okay? Not the 2. There's a 2 out there, but you can be the judge of that as far as the way it looks. Like I said, I prefer this one because of just the style. They both sound the same, with the exception that I feel that when they add waterproof into these speakers, it diminishes the quality a little bit, and it kind of sounds muffled almost. So I stick with these non-waterproof ones. But that's pretty much it. I'll put this back here. Look here, I ain't never claimed to be an expert in this kind of stuff. I'm just sitting here doing reviews. But before I go, make sure you tap on that like button and smash on that subscribe button, and I'll see y'all at the next one.